Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. This is Revell, and I've kind of shown this kit a little bit here and a little bit there in the background as I've been kind of working on it and just kind of bouncing around between different subjects and ones that I kind of want to get done. So this one has been interesting me, but many of you have actually brought up interest in it as well, want to know more about it and what I've done to it since I really started playing with it. And I'll get into some of the history of this particular kit and 67 Chevelles for me in general anyway. But this is kind of a stalled project. As I mentioned, it's from 2012, but from back then, all I really did was took everything off the trees. I didn't do any body work, assembled a motor, painted it orange, and then a couple little pieces here and there kind of pre-assembled, but that was about it. But at the time, I was working on a whole bunch of Chevelles, trying to get all of them done from 64 all the way to 72, which is my main interest. And since I have a 71 Chevelle, and just going back and getting all the years and just watching eBay and collecting them all, the hardest ones to get was a 64 and a 71. And that was really it. Everything else is pretty much readily available at the time on eBay, and still kind of is, although some of the kits have gotten kind of pricey. But this one was readily available, and Revell had popped it out a few times. So this one's a 2004 issue. But I've had a couple of them for parts kits and everything. But when it comes to Chevelles, kind of one of the reasons why this one stalled is didn't really know what color I wanted to do and anything. But I did have my original build. Now, this is not the Revell version. This is actually the AMT version from 1990 when it first came out. And I remember when both Revell and AMT came out with their kits, and they both had Pro Street kits, and then they both had stock ones. Now, I had never built the Revell stock one, but this one's the AMT one. I built the AMT stock one, put Revell tires on it. So this is from like 1990. Not my best work. Decent work for the time, but definitely not my best work. But it's one that's survived, and it's a nice kit. I also built, I'll throw pictures up as well. I built the Pro Street version of this same kit, which was fun to do. Didn't really like the original hood, but as I discovered resin parts on eBay. I'd gotten a resin hood for that car, and I'd put it on there, and it was black, just like this, but I believe black interior. But I did it as kind of a twin to this one, but that was the Pro Street kit. And I put that resin hood on it. Now, regrettably, I turned around and I sold that one on eBay. Now I wish I didn't, but I did. And there's a number of my old builds that I could say I did that. I started selling them on eBay to raise money to pay for the ones I was buying on eBay. So it's kind of what happened with that one. There was also a 66 Chevelle that was the old monogram tilt front that I did a whole bunch of stuff to and made it a Pro Street Terror, Pro Touring before there was Pro Touring. But I think I've shown this one on there, but built this one. But like I said, this one's the AMT version. But I still have this in my display, and being one of my lower quality or older builds for the Chevelles, I wanted to make a better one. So that's where this kit came into play. And I like the custom touches on this, but I always wanted to rebuild it as a stock one. So that's kind of what happened here. I used the wheels on something else, had the decals, but it kind of languished and sat. So since I started thinking about different kits or what to do, I decided, now this I just freshly cleared, so this was just done this past weekend. So it's about 4 days old as far as the clear coat goes, but I was looking at different ones, decided that I really like the maroon, which is kind of an unusual color. So I used scale finishes, Madeira maroon. This is base coat, and it's quite a bit more metallic and glittery than I was expecting, especially when it looks so just plain old bland in here. But with the metallic, I really like it. But I put the decals on it. This kit has really nice decals. I had one mess up, but I had extra decals from another kit. So the body's now painted and cleared. And then, there's the directions, but took my time, and, this is the motor that was what I painted back then. So there's that. So, and, I didn't do the nicest job cleaning up the mold line there, but that was what I did back then. I would take these engines and I would build 4 or 5 of them, and I would airbrush all the motors at the same time. So I did that with the Chevy Orange, even though it's probably not the most correct Chevy Orange, but it's a big block. But this was done. So the rest of it I took my recently and, shot the chassis in semi-gloss black and sanded off the monogram cast-in marks in here and in there. So took all them out. Seats are put together. This one has separate door panels, interior tub, which is, same as the Pro Street if you're not familiar with this kit. And there's a separate console, the steering wheel, bunch of little parts in here, just kind of all mixed up. Rear suspension, rear seat. Nice dash. It's got the tack right there on the side here too. If it'll focus on it. Here we go. Kind of hard to focus on some of this stuff in here. Really nice decals, by the way, but used what I could, not much as far as the stock car goes, and the 396 here. So, more of the miscellaneous. The exhaust is painted, and a ton of the semi-gloss black. Let's get this stuff out of here. Really nice taillights. Those ought to look really good. And then the exhaust manifolds in steel, the carburetor here, and the alternator, just getting all this stuff. So I did a lot of just pre-painting and shooting some of this stuff. Now, when I was doing this, I did all the semi-gloss black on this, but I also did 2 other cars. I shot a lot of the semi-gloss black on 3 different builds, so got that kind of done. Same thing with the exhaust. I loaded the silver into my airbrush, which just is the aluminum. Sprayed 3 different exhaust systems. There's the glass. And, shot all this stuff. Now, this engine was painted a long time ago. I haven't really painted the engines, but here's the tires. I'm not a big fan of these particular tires on there, but I'll see how they fit on this particular one. Love these wheels, though. Really nice wheels. Although I think the AMT ones just a little bit better as far as the detail that goes in them, especially that center cap and everything. Like those tires and the AMT details. So when it came to these 2 kits, this is a really nice kit. But from back then, and then same with this one. But I'm real curious to see how this one looks when it's built up and finished. I did do the Pro Street version of this, the one that has the Corvette taillights in here. Did that one. A lot of cool parts in that one. But same thing. I have like the motor and some of the parts from that kit, but it's all long gone. So don't really know what happened to that one or what I did to it, but destroyed some of that. But we'll get this one moving along and get it all painted and everything. Well, it's pretty much painted now. It's foil. Start blacking some of this stuff out and sand some of this texture off that's in here. But get the engine compartment blacked out and the underside of the hood blacked out. But this one, it all looked pretty good once it's foiled and everything. Be pretty sharp here, but then I'll have my 67 done, and that kind of fills the gap between, and I still haven't built the 64. That's one that I still have to build, is that 64. But we'll get this 67 built up and see what you guys think of it. And it's building and going really, really well. Clear went on very nicely. Just of my smudgy fingerprints here, but clean all that off. But get it foiled, get some work on this. So as I bounce around between the projects, I now have 4 of them clear coated and ready to keep building here. But like I kind of mentioned, I build in batches, but I got 3 of them clear coated. So I'm showing you this one for this weekend, seeing what you guys think and all of your comments on it. So, and if you built this kit, let me know. I'd like to hear your comments on it and everything. It's just kind of funny that I haven't built this particular Revell version, but done the AMT versions. But it's going together really well. It's looks to be a very, very good kit. So I'm enjoying it, even though, you know, it wasn't intended to be on my desk at the moment, but that's the one that is just going the easiest and giving me the less battles, I should say, as far as grief or things. There's always something that can be done a little bit better, but this one really laid out really nice. The color laid down really nice. The clear laid down nice. I had one decal that decided to stick really well, but not where I wanted. So pulled the decals off and redid the emblems on it. Even the one on the front of the hood here, if you can even see it. Let's see if this camera will focus on some of this stuff. Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, it's coming along. But thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. And you guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.